to good announcements coming from Capcom, who, unlike other devs who have been sad or they've been disappointed with their game's performance, Capcom's came out and they were just like, yeah, well, Dragons Dogma 2 is performing favorably. We're good. They didn't come out and said it's selling, it's a disappointment, it's not meeting our expectations, right? Performing favorably, which is, you know.
That sounds like a company that has realistic expectations.
Exactly. That's what I took it as. That's why I wanted to bring it up, because it's just kind of like, man, it's you think a game is selling well, and then you get the news headline from the dev saying it's not meeting expectations, right?
Even though it sold like millions of copies.
Even though it sold millions of copies. Now you got Dragons Dogma 2. How many has it sold so far? I think the last report was what, 2 mil?
Yeah, and that's
that was like a couple weeks ago,
right?
Yeah.
By other companies, by other dev standards, that's low. But I'm like, hey, look, that's good for the series, man. Going forward, I still want this fucking performance patch, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway,
for a game with a tumultuous launch, and it's still getting support. There's patches every week or so. Like they're releasing some new patch, fixing bugs and doing things.
Find it funny, no one's complaining about it anymore.
Yeah, people have stopped complaining about it. People have grinded it out, and they started complaining about other things.
Then what else? Like, what's new? What's the new shit to complain about? I don't know. Like, man. I'm just glad Capcom set the record straight. I'm glad, because you know what that means? Capcom probably don't give a fuck about any of that shit. People were complaining about, look at this DLC, blah blah blah. Like, oh, they're probably like, oh, you mean like the last game that you bought, Devil May Cry 5 and Resident Evil? You mean just like those games? Remember, that shows that actually, we already knew this. It's obvious, right? But it does show to the people that are terminally online that nobody gives a fuck about what most of y'all complaining about. If people are interested in the game, they're clearly gonna buy the game, and the game is doing well by Capcom standards. So stop bitching and enjoy the fucking game, because it's a great fucking game. You cannot say it isn't. Like, there's no way you're telling me Dragons Dogma is not a good game.
I've been enjoying this game a
hell of a lot. And it's only getting better. It just dropped a new update yesterday, no?
Yeah, and that's the kind of game, like, think about it. Dragons Dogma 1 had legs. You know what I mean? Like, it came out over a decade ago, and it was still selling, right? So this game is not going anywhere. I'm sure this will have just the same amount of longevity that the first game did, especially with frequent updates and shit like that. Maybe we'll get the updated version, the Dark Arisen version, like the first game did. Who knows?
Yeah, old Chad Capcom coming out and just saying like, hey man, we're doing all right.
They were confident and they were right. They were like, yeah, this game's gonna sell millions. We're confident this unannounced game is gonna sell millions.
Remember, we were like, damn,
we were like, it couldn't be Dragons Dogma, right? It has to be Monster Hunter.
Like, there's no way.
Yeah, we were like, it has to be Monster Hunter, bro. Like, part of me knew that Dragons Dogma was the game, because, you know, Dragons.
What else did they have?
Dragons, we're in a post Elden Ring era, right? Where people love shit like that now. So if it was before, I feel like if it was before Elden Ring, they wouldn't have been as confident. But after Elden Ring came out, Dragons Dogma is basically, okay, it's not one-to-one Elden Ring, but in terms of that open world RPG like itch, they both scratched a similar itch. So I'm sure that's why they were confident. Yeah. They were like, Elden Ring, wait a minute, we're good at this. We did this before them. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah. It's funny because, like, in thinking back at the people that were complaining about the game's performance, right? Which, I mean, valid complaints.
Which is a valid complaint,
a lot of the like kind of I guess discourse and the increasing complaints around it on the internet, it was from people who were saying, man, the PC performs like trash, so I'm gonna play it on console, which means they bought two copies of the game. But they bought 2 copies of the game. That's what that means. And it's like, so you're complaining about the performance, valid, but you bought the game twice. You know what I mean?
But what the fuck? So you bought the game on PC, which means you have a big enough brain to do research, right?
Probably
would
not.
assume.
No, I wouldn't assume
So
that.
if you bought the game on PC and it runs like shit on PC, right? Wouldn't you do research to see how the console version runs and find out that the console version is just as shit? Hello? Whatever.
Not the Twitter shitlord accounts that I was looking at. But...
True. Like, you gotta be dumb. Well, you gave him $120, so congratulations.
Oh,
You
thanks
played
for
yourself.
supporting the game. Thank you for
Yeah.
playing the classic.
Thanks for the revenue.
Thanks for playing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna finish it. Like,
Oh,
bruh,
man.
that's crazy to me. Like, I have my issues with the performance, but that doesn't stop me from realizing that the game is god. Like, I am kind of waiting to see if they fix it. If they don't, in like the next couple of months, I'm just gonna fucking finish playing through it.
Yeah, I haven't hated performance at all. I think it only just like
That shit
it's
sucks.
honestly only have been bad for me in towns, right? There's a lot of
Yeah.
NPCs around, and it gets sub 30
You're also
most of the
wielding
time.
a goddamn, what's it called? A goddamn monkey sword. You're not
That's
nuking
right,
motherfuckers and watching the game literally drop.
that's
That
me.
is true.
Like,
that
yeah,
is
that's
true.
me.
But my pawn is though. My pawn.
The game literally, yeah, but all my pawns are.
You mean-
all right?
You mean
Like,
you mean my pawn?
bro, I'm shooting magic. My pawn's healing. My other pawn is nuking shit with fucking meteors and crap, bro. The game is just, it's slugging. It's struggling. But it is what it is. My only issue with it is that you can tell the game is just unoptimized because there are instances where it's perfectly fine. And then there are instances where it's just complete trash.
Yeah, it's
So
a
that's just
it's a
optimization.
CPU.
Right.
It's a CPU. What was the
They could have fixed
phrase?
that.
It's just poor CPU utilization, right?
Yeah, they could have fixed that.
And it's something
should
that's
fix that.
absolutely fixable. It's something they should fix, and it
Well-
may take time for them to fix, right?
I mean, as of right now, they've been keeping to their word. They've been dropping constant updates, and they did say they were gonna drop performance updates. So as of right now, they've kept their word. So
Yeah, we'll see.
that's all I have to go on for right now.
Yeah,
we'll
good
go
game.
back to playing
Not
this
gonna
shit
take
right
away
now.
from the game though. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hey, Chad Capcom.
I'm glad, man, because that means that now this is showing them that other games besides fucking Resident Evil and Monster Hunter are gonna fucking sell them. They could have easily went the Ubisoft route, went the Activision route, and just said, Monster Hunter's doing this? Shit, let's fuck everything else. Monster Hunter every year, every other year. Fuck no Dragons Dogma 2, no whatever that new game is. I forgot. I can always forget the fucking name. Whatever that new IP they just announced was, none of that shit.
Oh,
We're just
the
gonna
Path
keep
of the
fucking-
Goddess.
Yeah. Like, fuck all that Monster Hunter. We're just gonna keep shoving out Monster Hunter.
I mean, it
every year.
kind of felt they were a little bit going that way because they had the Rise expansion, and then they had Monster Hunter Stories, and then they were teasing
those-
the new Monster Hunter.
Yeah, but that's
There's a lot of Monster
like
Hunter
years
news.
apart. That's
No,
years
yeah,
apart.
They just have a whole group of people just dedicated to Monster Hunter. So whatever they do, they
Yeah,
do.
the whole
And to be
Monster
fair,
Hunter
Monster Hunter
team.
Story has been around for fucking ever. Like, that's a 3DS game. But
Mhm.
like, I don't know. They're not fucking shoving it down our throats. Like, Rise came out years after fucking World came out. Stories is a spin-off. That don't count to me. I'm talking about like mainline Monster Hunter games. Like how Call of Duty comes out every single year. Assassin's Creed came out, like a main Assassin's Creed game came out every single year. Like, I'm okay with a spin-off here and there, but nah, they could have easily went that route. And they probably wanted to. I'm sure there's some exec that was like, oh my God, you see the amount of money this game's bringing in? Yo, when's the next one? Bring it out soon, next year. And somebody was probably like, nah, we want to let this shit cook. Cause you know they be probably arguing in the board meetings. Like half of them is probably like,
Oh
new
yeah,
Monster Hunter
I
next year.
bet it
Like,
is.
yep.
I'm sure.
So when the shareholders probably at the top, like, we want to do Monster Hunter right now.
You know what it is? It's probably because the president's still mostly in charge and he birthed that shit from the beginning. So maybe he's just like, he still has like, you know,
Just
he's
like
old
Capcom
school,
is-
like
Yeah.
like the Nintendo people. Like he's just kind of like, nah, hold up, you know.
I'm glad they're back. I always say, but I'm glad they're back and they're doing new shit, man.
And you know, his son has a good mind too because he fucking brought back Street Fighter. So like, and then
Man, I'm
he
glad,
actually worked on Monster Hunter, right? Like he worked on Monster Hunter too. So
I'm glad that
yeah.
their risks are paying off. I do hope that new IP that they made sells too.
I'll definitely be buying it.
Yeah, same. I really hope that shit does well. It might not sell millions of copies, but I don't know. Capcom games usually do sell decently. I don't think they ever. I'm sure by their standards, there's been flops, but I don't know. Just the Capcom name, right? Their marketing ability. Capcom's always been really good at marketing stuff. So I don't know. Like they were look, they were on top of Dragons Dogma, bro. Every event they had something new to show. They had the showcases, like, bro, they were going off for fucking Dragons Dogma. I was like, wow. Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
really good
they
promotion.
do the same. Yeah, they did the same shit. I think they found a way of working through the COVID era and that works for them and works for the game. And I think they just like, well, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, like the only other games that I expected that from were like their big shits, like Street Fighter, obviously, right? Resident Evil, of course, they had the showcase Resident Evil. It's Resident Evil. It's like, hello, it's their main shit. So those games, like I expected that, like Monster Hunter, of course, right? But I didn't expect them to go all out for fucking Dragon's Dogma the way they did. That was cool. Like,
I mean,
what's the name?
but then again,
what's the dude's name? Fucking Itsuno.
What,
He's probably
Itsuno?
like, bro.
Itsuno?
He was probably like, yo, y'all better give me everything I need if y'all want DMC 6. Like, if y'all want DMC 6, you better give me everything I want.
I think that was the deal. Was that like he worked on DMC 5, so he could work on this game.
Y'all better give me everything.
Yeah. So now this I don't know. Who knows?
They
Maybe
changed them up. Yep.
I know they changed them up to something, but is it Dragon's Dogma 3 or is it fucking Devil May Cry 6? I haven't.
It's definitely DMC. I don't think we're gonna see Dragon's Dogma 3 for a long time. If we ever see it, who knows? I don't know.
We'll get Dragon's Dogma 2.
We'll probably get some
Darker
expansion
Arisen.
DLC or something. Yeah, right. We'll probably get like an expansion.
Yeah, absolutely. Chad Capcom, keeping it up. Much like you listeners need to keep it up. Subscribe, complain, come and leave comments, but come on over to YouTube and subscribe as well. You know, like hit like, hit subscribe.
Can we actually
listen to us on
comments,
Spotify? Though? Leave as many comments as you like, constructive or not. We like responding to the constructive ones, but
no, I love responding to the stupid ones.
I'll leave it to the spirit to respond to the not so constructive comments. But if you leave a constructive comment, I'll likely leave a response. It may be constructive, it may not. It may just feed the flame. It may feed the flame of engagement. So you guys do you. We're gonna keep doing us, and we'll see you guys more next week.